Good evening. Welcome to the Falls Township Board of Supervisors meeting, Monday, May 18th. We'll begin with a salute to the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Shepherd, can you call the roll, please?
Supervisor Galloway. Supervisor Latecki.
Present.
Supervisor Palmer.
Here.
Supervisor Mullen.
Here.
And Supervisor Dents.
Here. All right. Mr. Clark, can you comment on our executive session, item 1?
Yes, the board held an executive session prior to this meeting to receive information from the township engineer regarding the fee in lieu of tree replacement ordinance. No deliberations occurred and no votes were taken. The board also received information regarding potential grant writing services. No deliberations occurred, no votes were taken. The board also received information regarding a property located within the township. No deliberations occurred, no votes were taken, and the board also discussed potential litigation.
Thank you. That takes us to item number 2, public comment. Is there a list? No. Thank you. All right, we have several names. Amanda Westerman. You can stand and state your name and where you live, please.
Hi, good evening all. My name is Amanda Westerman and I live at 15 Bald Cypress Lane. I am a Falls Township resident, having lived here for almost 14 years. I am local of this area, a lifelong Bucks County resident, as is my husband. We have 3 children, 2 who are of school aged, and the youngest attending preschool come September. My husband, our children, and I are active members of Falls Township. I promised my oldest son I would attend his last basketball game of the season tonight, playing for the PRBL Spring League, but I am first prioritizing this to speak during public comment here tonight. Saturday morning, I suddenly learned that our town officials have been exploring and constructing the creation of a data center just over 6 miles from my home, in a neighborhood of hundreds of homes and approximately 12 schools. Shocked to learn of this plan, I created a local petition outlining a number of concerns. Within just a few hours, the petition collected hundreds of signatures. As of this afternoon, and just 1 minute ago before this meeting started, I've collected 699 signatures. Many fellow residents have contacted me about their serious concerns over and in opposition to this project. As a group, we are very concerned about the noise pollution, temperature increases, heat islands, and water use that is well documented that these data centers bring with them. There is already significant data that there are real health issues created by these data centers, particularly caused by noise pollution. We are extremely concerned about this proposal and building of it, and a data center being thrust upon our community, especially with little notice to the citizens of our town. For the majority of us, we were under the impression that these were warehouses. In searching, it looks like it was in one meeting turned into data centers that were approved at that same meeting. We feel that there was no transparency and are blindsided. Searching back a year ago, even more recently, a month ago, there's little information on this. Letters should have been mailed to local residents to give us a say in what goes on in our backyards. This data center was fast-tracked very quickly and quietly. We feel failed by our state and local representatives who are on board with this project. Our concerns are valid. Why is this being rushed? This will have detrimental impact to our health. Migraines, nausea, lack of sleep, motion sickness, hearing aids in children, cardiovascular disease, just to name a few. I have many more. Our environment, loss of crucial pollinators, honeybee, bird, and butterfly population, our energy usage, rate price increase in our bills, upgrading of local power infrastructure, which has already been started, and my children want to know why we're digging ground and what for. So Our water supply, loss of control of our water rights, and possible shortage or even complete outage of water supply. These are all impacts just within 6 miles of this site. The ramifications, I'm sure as you're aware, are far worse within 1 to 2 miles. I do not wish to have myself, my husband, and most importantly, my children, who are the future of Bucks County, for us to be test subjects. We request an opportunity for residents to have their concerns and questions answered by our Board of Supervisors as soon as possible at a public meeting that we should have been made aware of and of availability to attend. So that is my final request with what I have to say. I think that something should go out with updated information, more detailed, giving all local residents of Falls Township the opportunity to come, learn, ask questions, and to have full transparency and honesty. I do thank you all for your time this evening and allowing me to share my thoughts and concerns with you. I truly do. I may leave. Again, I'm supposed to be at a basketball game for my son, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for the same reason?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to have everyone that's here for the data center to leave their comments, and then we can comment afterwards, if that works.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Wait, are you Julia?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Julia and Brandon Resler, 36 Thimbleberry Lane, Levittown, PA. Today I sat outside, soaking up the sun, listening to the birds, breathing in the beautiful spring breeze as I watched my kids laugh, play, and fight in the kiddie pool. Over the weekend, I went to my son's t-ball game at Red Cedar, Levittown United Fields. My neighbors and friends came over to celebrate my 5-year-old's birthday at our home of 8 years, filled with laughter, love, friends, family, and a lot of hard work. Just days ago, I had started drawing up plans to expand our forever home. A front porch so my neighbor could come over and have coffee, a new jungle gym in our backyard, an outdoor movie theater so all the kids in the neighborhood could come to our house as the fun house. My name again is Julia Resler, a resident of Falls Township for the last 8 years, and what was an exciting expansion for my forever home as a young parent and homeowner quickly turned into a gut punch when I found out an AI data center was being constructed 4 miles away. A data center that was flown under the radar of its citizens with fast-track permitting expedited by Governor Josh Shapiro through PA Permit Fast Track Program, with little regard to the environmental and societal impact. This fast-track permitting disregards the intense strain it causes surrounding citizens. AI data centers on smaller scales than the Falls Township data center are causing horrendous amount of temperature increases, wildlife disruption, even noise pollution, including subaudible infrasound that can vibrate through buildings up to 2 to 3 miles away, yet can affect up to 6 miles away. 12 schools. 12 schools, not only in the Falls Township side, but Bordentown shores. Yes, we forgot about Bordentown, didn't we? Will be affected. I contacted the mayor of Bordentown today, where she was shocked to find out for the first time that this center was going up. So while much of our Commonwealth is being gaslit to think we should have done something sooner, we just didn't know. And clearly, higher up public officials also have been completely bypassed. Transparency was not your goal. While Falls Township citizens face detrimental effects, 8 of our schools, 8 of them, are within a 3 to 4 mile radius. Bordentown schools are within a 2 mile radius of this data center, and there's no wall infrastructure up for those people. The same miles that infrasound can permeate walls, the same sound that can cause health effects, just as Amanda had said, such as, but not limited to, neurological and sleep defects, migraines, nausea, vertigo, ringing in ears, cardiovascular distress, anxiety, depression, inability to concentrate. Inability to concentrate. 4 schools within 2 miles, 8 within 4. That's 3 to 4, actually. And our kids are at risk for inability to concentrate. And to mention, New Jersey is big. New Jersey is very big on wetland preservation. Did anyone consider them? In Falls Township AI data centers directly across from the Abbott marshlands, data centers are known to profoundly alter marshlands and wetlands through massive water consumption, water temperature increases, habitat destruction, and fragmentation. Who wants to tell New Jersey that we are threatening their wetlands because we see what they're doing to their data centers over there? Oh wait, you guys were supposed to do that, But after I spoke to some of the New Jersey officials, it seems that was disregarded. And disclaimer, this was not written with AI. While not perfect, this is what makes me a human. And AI is a risk to humanity as a whole. I want to sit outside and drink my coffee on my new front porch in a town that I love without a data center slop threatening my way of life. I want my kindergartner to go and sit in class without the risk of inability to concentrate. I want my daughter to visit our neighbors. We were supposed to treat our neighbors how we want to treat ourselves. You guys are not treating us how you would like to be treated, nor our neighbors. I want my daughter to be able to visit New Jersey marshlands without seeing droves of dead and displaced wildlife. Again, I am Julia Resler. This is my husband, Brandon Resler, Thornridge residents of up to 8 years, and we, the people of Falls Township, do not want this data center completed. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for the, no. Anyone else here for the data center? No? Okay.
Can I talk on data center?
You want to do your public comment now, or you're at the bottom of the list?
She should.
Just about the data
Go
center,
ahead.
just-
Go ahead.
We pay you guys, so she should.
Don't worry, she speaks here every week.
Well, that's good.
So Jen Metzger, Falls Township.
Yes.
About the data center. I know we've talked about it. Sarah Kirk came, she said a
Yep.
lot of stuff. I, would definitely direct anyone in the community to try to reach out to us so that we can try to help find any of the additional information. My concern about the data center, what we had brought to you, aside from the medical issues and our concerns about the environment, is that there were a number of things that the data center could have provided us for us to bring them here. There were parameters that are preset, their legal departments were preset. There were a lot of benefits they could have brought to the community with water, with supporting their own electricity, power grid, and everything that we talked about. Our concern was that none of those things appeared to have been done. We still don't have all the information unless we do an RTK. And it looked like we actually gave them a lot for them to come here, including 15 years instead of 10 for the KOZ, the tax base, and then not taking on the ability for us to get, them to take care of their own water, them to take care of their own power source, them to help our community clean things up and benefit us. And again, this is on the 6,000 acres of land that Waste Management purchased. So it's going to be their benefit because this is a rental for them. So we're hoping that Falls Township can garner something out of this and have any control over it at all, even though it's on Waste Management's rental land. So they were the things that I was concerned that
Okay.
might not have been mentioned
Thank
with
you.
the new community members that are aware now.
Okay, so the data center. When did this start? Over a year ago? We have had at least 6 public meetings. They came to the Planning Commission, they've been to the Zoning Hearing Board, they've been to the Environmental Advisory Council. I think they went to zoning more than once. So this isn't something that was not advertised and there weren't any public meetings about, and they came before us. So this is go ahead.
With the NDA and with the information.
You have to speak. The only thing that the NDA spoke about was who owned it.
Right, but so
Yeah.
you have to remember that a lot of these meetings were documented as coming down there. As one of the ladies just said, we thought these were warehouses and things.
No,
that
no,
were
that's
being
not
rented.
true.
We didn't know it was the Amazon
No, they were
data center
advertised as a
until-
data center. The only
Not
thing,
until after June of 2025.
yeah, in June 2025,
I
correct.
understand, but so in the past year, the information that's been handed out is limited information, and again, unless one of us pulls an RTK, we actually don't even know what y'all agreed to.
Not a single person came to a public meeting, other than yourself and Tony Batiste.
Yeah, we were not
I know, you were here, I see you. I know, now, I don't even know where to start. This is, this,
Where was the letter that went out?
we don't, we're not, no letter went out to the residents. Listen, we're not gonna have torches and pitchforks here. This isn't what we're gonna
Well, it is,
do.
'cause we've got a bunch of people who are this.
No, I'm not gonna do this. We're not doing this. You already spoke.
Please take your
We're not
seat.
gonna jump up and down, back and forth.
I was going to ask a question so we can have a calm discussion.
No, this is public, I do want one. I'm more than happy. We have conversations here all the time.
We're not, Julian, we're not going to get anywhere if we're arguing and yelling at.
Yeah, there's nothing to argue about. This has already been approved.
Can we stop?
It can't be stopped. It's not gonna be
It's
stopped.
happening all over. It's happening all over.
Listen,
Plans are being.
okay, let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first? The location? This is on an old US Steel
Not
site.
even the local,
Yeah, that was
yes.
contaminated.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. That was approved
No, it
in an
wasn't.
industrial warehouse as warehouses.
I'm fine
It
with a
was-
warehouse, not a data center.
It was very quickly, in one meeting, overturned and changed to data center. I'm going to tell you, as a resident, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm home all day long. I see my mailman come, I'm checking things.
Nothing was mailed out. We didn't mail it out. It was advertised online and in the newspaper.
Not everybody has social media. There's a lot of older residents, there's younger residents, and there's parents my age who are not on social media. That is not the only method.
We're required by-
that is out
okay.
there. Mail,
Mr.
hard
Chairman.
mail.
Go ahead.
If I could just make one or two comments, and I appreciate everybody's passion and concern for being here. I wasn't here whenever the data center was approved. I wasn't employed yet by the township, but just a few things to keep in mind, because we've talked about New Jersey. I just came from New Jersey, so I did 8 years as a municipal manager in New Jersey. It's very difficult to stop a project from a zoning perspective, even in New Jersey, regardless of what people say and what towns threaten. And they talk about moratoriums. In Pennsylvania, there's no ability to do a moratorium on any sort of development. Pennsylvania is probably like many other states. This group has to find a place for everything to be somewhere in Falls Township, even if it's considered an undesirable use. And you can think in your head what those may be to different people. But they don't have the ability to say, we don't want a data center, or we don't want, and then fill in the blank. They can't do that. I know that's frustrating to people, because you read about what they're doing in New Jersey or other parts of the country, because now we get data from all over the country of how different states are dealing with these issues. It is limited what their ability is. So please keep that in mind. But also please keep in mind that the state of Pennsylvania preempts some of the regulatory decisions this board can make. When it comes to air quality, when it comes to water usage, right? This site will use water from the Delaware River. It's an existing permit. It was used by U.S. Steel when the steel mill was built. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, right? So I'm kind of a soft spot in my heart for steel mills. This one's no longer here. But it used a lot of water. It used a lot of electricity, right? That's what steel mills did. So this site is on an old industrial site. It uses a lot of water, or could use a lot of water, but the steel mill did also. There's an existing industrial permit to pull water from the river. So the state regulates that. They regulate air quality. They regulate a lot of things, and they say, we'll handle that at the state level. They don't permit the local government to regulate some of those things. That doesn't mean you can't ask questions, have concerns, but the regulatory environment's a little bit complicated, and you can't say we don't want it because, and then fill in the blank. They can't do that. All they can do is the best they can on where they put it and how it's designed, how it's operated. So that all being said, I just want to kind of give a little bit of the lay of land on how it works. They don't have unfettered authority to just say, we're going to do whatever we want within Falls Township. Thank you.
All right, so can I make a comment, because you're from Jersey?
You have to use the mic.
Come to the
Okay, well,
microphone,
you
please.
didn't let her use it, so I was just going off
Well,
of what.
really, you're not supposed to be shouting out,
Okay,
but
all
since
right.
you're going to be doing it
All
anyway,
right,
we figured you
I'm
might
up
as
here.
well do
Look,
it from the
listen to
mic.
me, I'm up here. I'm up here now.
Go ahead, just
Now
come on.
listen to me. I don't really enjoy how you just are not coming off very nice.
I apologize for that, but
Okay, this is our kids.
I understand, 100%.
I do not see children in here.
I understand, and I understand you're
We
very
are
upset
test
about
subjects.
this. You're not test subjects.
Listen to me. You are from Jersey. I want to ask you a question, because you're older than me.
I'm not from Jersey, but I
Oh,
spent 8 years there. I said I'm from
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
all right. Well, let's level playing field for a second. I'm 28 years old. You might know this. You seem a little bit older than me. Do you recall what Ciba-Geigy is? Do you recall Ciba-Geigy in New Jersey?
I don't.
Okay, Ciba-Geigy was a dye manufacturing plant that dumped wastewater back into the stream. They promised, the state of New Jersey promised that water was clean. They promised. No.
Go ahead.
They promised. And so, do you know what happened with that? Over a course of 20 years, there was cancer clusters in children. What are we trying to prevent right now? Do you see these kids? I have kids. I didn't bring them. I should have. So you could see their faces.
Mr. Dent,
because
just
you know,
let her finish.
Yeah, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we going to add more doctors at CHOP? Because guess what? We're going to need more doctors at CHOP when our kids are being exposed to all this infrasound. I have a friend over in Jersey. She does sound pollution. She's terrified. She's working on this now too. She said that infrasound can be detrimental. It's 2 miles from their schools, and it's between The closest school for ours is 3.5. Between 3.5 and 4 miles, we've got 8 schools. I'm just saying, and I understand you guys are trying to do a job, but we as citizens, we're trying to protect our kids. Please.
We understand. And I apologize if I come off a certain way. And I'm not frustrated by this, but this isn't something that we tried to slip through the back door and just fast track.
It was fast-tracked. It was literally fast-tracked.
It was fast-tracked. The permit process by the governor
So
was
is it
fast-tracked.
fast-tracked or not? Because you just said
Not
it
by
wasn't,
us,
and then
it
you
wasn't.
did.
It wasn't. We had multiple public meetings about
But
this.
we were not aware. There would not be over 700 signatures.
Giving Amazon special privileges.
Yes,
We always
you had an
have to do
NDA
that.
because you knew that you were not allowed to
No,
say it
no.
because we would be in an uproar.
The
And
NDA
it's coming, and it's happening.
The NDA was about who was building the data center. That's the only thing
Exactly.
it was about. When they came to the,
Technology, wasn't it?
what?
Wasn't it proprietary
Yeah,
technology?
and it was also their technology that
Yeah.
they were using.
It was just the name of who was building it was that we weren't allowed to talk about. But
I'm
that's
sorry,
out
but
in
if
the
anyone
open
knew
now.
Amazon was coming and building a data center, would anyone have been happy?
I knew Amazon was coming to build a warehouse.
A warehouse.
No one ever discussed Amazon building a warehouse.
Warehouse. It was,
Maybe,
definitely.
maybe the discussion wasn't had with you, but discussion amongst residents, locals who live in Falls Township, majority were under the impression Amazon warehouse.
Bordentown.
I'm sharing with you that so far, 700 residents within 36 hours are blindsided, feel that they're.
You have to use the microphone. I'm sorry. He can't hear you.
I'm not yelling at you.
I know you're not.
I'm speaking freely now, just whatever comes to my mind, but I will tell you, I'm a mother of 3 children. I am a stay-at-home mom. That is my #1 job and priority. So I was angry enough and upset enough to start a conversation amongst, I don't talk to a lot of people. I watch Paw Patrol, I do laundry, I cook dinner, I take kids to school, I do homework. I am a hands-on helicopter stay-at-home mom to my 3 children that I am raising to be good humans, to have morals, to respect others, and to make good choices and do the right thing. That is what I'm trying to instill into my children for our future, for their future. Tim, we have children the same age. They play basketball together, okay? You live in the neighborhood next to me. You grew up with my husband, okay? We are lifelong residents of Bucks County. I am passionate about what happens here. I am passionate about what the future looks like for my children and for my grandchildren. I thought that the home that I lived in could possibly be the home that my grandchildren come to. That may not happen. That's nobody else's issue or problem, but mine and my husband's. We will figure that out. I am telling you, I just looked, I'm up to 702 signers, local residents, who are talking now because in the last few weeks, they're aware of what's actually happening. Because again, the ones that I am speaking to who are concerned, same impression, Amazon warehouses. That is what we thought. That is what we thought was happening. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. I'm getting upset. I actually am upset. I can tell you, I am an officer at my children's school on our home and school board. That's private school language for PTO. I'm very hands-on. I run meetings. I run events. I am very involved. I am very invested. I am very passionate. I care deeply about a lot of things. That's why I'm here today. I can tell you personally firsthand, if I was aware that this was a data center a year ago, I would have been here sooner. My apologies, I haven't been here. This is my first time here. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for listening to me. I can guarantee you that majority of those signers, if they knew what really was happening behind closed doors, this what you're shaking your head no.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You have your meetings as officers behind closed doors. I have it too at my children's school. It happens. Then we come after you discuss and we put it out there. There's probably usually not a lot of people here. I don't know who is here for the data center, warehouse, and when. I'm here today. I'm telling you that 100%, at least 700 residents, if not more, because my petition has only been out there for 36 hours. Hasn't even been a full 2 days yet. I'm still working. I'm still researching. When I first learned about this 2-3 weeks ago, that it was actually a data center and not a warehouse like originally thought, originally planned, I started diving deep. I started staying up super late, waking up early in the morning, and still doing my mom thing, getting my kids ready for school, getting them out the door. I spent a lot of hours looking, reading about data centers as a whole in general. There are different kinds of data centers. They do different things. I'm sure you're educated. I'm sure you're aware. I don't have to tell you this. I am telling you again, residents were under the impression that these were Amazon warehouses. We've known for a while it was Amazon. Amazon came in and took over Falls Township. They had a store that's now sitting empty. There's warehouses all across Bristol Pike and up here. I mean, they're everywhere. They are taking over. They are monopolizing. That is not what this is about. But again, we were under the impression it was Amazon warehouses. It's a big difference between a warehouse and a data center. And now other residents like myself are looking more into this because we were blindsided and we don't feel that there was full transparency. Not everybody uses social media as a platform for obtaining local news. So
Understood.
something should have been mailed out. That would have been the right thing to do. There are senior citizens who still pay taxes. They do their due diligence to contribute how they're supposed to our community. Majority of them are not on social media. So I hear what you're saying. I did look back. I was trying to see what information was out there. There's not that much. And the majority of it that I did come across is on social media.
All right. You've far exceeded your 5 minutes.
Okay, I would like to end with
Go
what
ahead.
I requested in my closing statement, and I'm asking it
Go ahead.
again, is for respect to give us residents of Falls Township who live here, who work here, who pay taxes here, who gave you a job
ahead.
and position
Understood.
here, to have a public meeting very soon, a very open and honest, full transparency public meeting to allow other residents like myself to come in, to ask questions, and to get honest answers.
Okay.
There are big concerns and lots of them, a full list of them.
Okay.
We have the right to know
Understood.
what is in our backyards,
You got it.
and that's what I'm requesting as of today, right now.
Okay.
We can move forward from
Your time
there,
is far exceeded, but that's duly noted.
and I
And
appreciate
I
the
do want to
time
point
you've
one
given
thing
me.
out. We put out a newsletter every year, twice a year actually, and it was in the newsletter last year.
I am not going to say yes or no. I don't
I know.
recall,
I do
and
know.
that's full.
All right.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm
I know.
telling you, I can only speak on
Okay,
behalf
we're
of
done.
myself.
You're far exceeded. I have it down here, at a town hall meeting of some sort. Thank you.
I appreciate the time tonight, and
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you listening and taking my concerns into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next name on the list is Margaret Marino.
If we're doing data center first, can I get in on that?
Yeah, go ahead, real quick. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I came in late with the kids. So a lot of you guys know my feelings on the data center. I did learn about it last year in, I think it was July or August, after it was approved. And it was in the newsletter you guys sent out, but that was sent out after it was voted on. So I do have that. I actually kept it. It has
Yeah.
the date and everything on it. So, and it was approved as a warehouse because my cousin was a foreman on the project. He actually installed the belts that were going to move the products through the warehouse, and then all of a sudden they had to take everything down and it became a data center. So it is a little shady how this happened, but I digress. My concern now is the DEP is currently looking at allowing 4 diesel and turbines, I guess they call them, to make enough energy for this data center. When I stood up here last summer, I was told that wasn't going to happen because I'm concerned about the pollution that's going to cause. I was told they're going to have enough. PECO can handle it. PECO can't handle it, and now we have to get approval from the DEP to have turbines put in there to run this data center that are so atrocious to our environment that the DEP is having a meeting on it in June. I was invited to talk because they understand my frustrations. I have 2 little cuties back there, and I don't want them breathing in the already horrible air. We got an F on the air quality by the DEP of the country, I guess you'd call it. And now we're going to add 4 diesel turbines. In Westchester, they have an area that has 8 turbines putting out diesel to run factories. Guess what's there? A cluster of childhood cancer that's getting researched right now. So you guys sit there and you think about how great this data center is. Know that you are putting our children on the line for a little bit of money. And I think that's disgusting. Second, I also have some concerns about, so I work for New Jersey. I'm pretty high up in New Jersey. I know a lot of people there. They are stopping data centers there. So as you can see, we can stop them from happening. That's happening in New Jersey as we speak. There is people in the Department of Environmental Protection in New Jersey who their entire job right now is to gather information on data centers because people are slowly starting to realize it's affecting the water. The stuff they're putting in the water, we can say it's recycled, it's going into the air, and then it comes back down as rainwater and snow. People are drinking and inhaling that. They're looking at the different levels of the pollution they create, the amount of energy they're needing, where I'm not even talking about how all of our PICO bills are gonna go up. That's a different topic. Today I'm talking about health. So I think we really do need to look at, as people, this is America, the citizens have control. So to tell us that Jeff Bezos has more control than us, that doesn't sit well with us. And third, I work for New Jersey. We get a lot of Oprah requests. I don't know what it's called in Pennsylvania. Does anybody know? Because I think we should do a request for all the files related to this data center. I want to know who owns that land. I want to know, when did Amazon purchase it, or are they leasing it? What type of taxes are they doing? So you will be getting that in your inbox tomorrow from my email.
It's a right to know request.
It's coming tomorrow. All right, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for
All
your
right,
time.
thank you. Margaret Marino, your turn.
Hi, my name is Margaret Marino. I'm a Falls Township resident. I'm here just as a follow-up, basically from the April 27th meeting. At that time, Mr. Shepherd, you had stated that you would be giving on May 1st, that Friday, a preliminary report, which I thought I would have received, but I did not. So did the board receive the preliminary report about 399 Florimidge Drive?
We did see a report, yes.
You received a report?
Preliminary report.
Yes, they have it.
Okay, could you elaborate, like, what is going on? I'm kind of like in the dark the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, so they have the report. They're going to take a look if they haven't already. I'm sure they're taking a look at the different options that are included in the report. Right, so there's a lot of different recommendations, and it was actually discussed at the last Traffic Advisory Committee meeting. I believe they had it on their agenda. So the Traffic Advisory Committee also reviewed that report, and I believe they even provided some additional recommendations to the Board of Supervisors that they just would have received probably late last week. They had some additional recommendations in addition to what the traffic engineer recommended. So now they have the committee's report, they have the engineer's report, and I'm sure they're certainly going to talk about
I was under the impression that the traffic committee was, whenever we had spoke, whenever Officer Finelli was off the case, I thought that the board was going to be handling it, and the traffic committee was pretty much out of it, because the last committee I went to, the traffic committee, they had nothing. They said everything was coming through you, and that's why I didn't even go to the traffic committee last week.
Understood. Yeah, they looked at it again. So I think they like the report. I think they believe the report, what the recommendations are reasonable and should be considered. Like I said, I think they actually even had a few additional recommendations.
So there's no expected implementation?
Well, it's ultimately with the board, right? So I think
the board,
the board's going to need to take a look at the different recommendations. And I think some of the recommendations, from my perspective, some of the recommendations I think are a little bit easier. I think
we know that they were easier because at the first traffic meeting, one of the guys, I think it was Josh, had said they have that in the garage right now. It can be done, and that was back in October.
Yeah, no. So what I'm talking about is, I think one of the things they can do, because now the engineering analysis that's required has been done, and that's to do a three-way stop sign. So that's near your property. So I think that meets the criteria. Not I think, it does meet the criteria, right? So that's something that the board, if they're inclined to do, is easy to do. It's an ordinance.
Easy? Please don't say easy. Okay,
Well,
nothing about this has been easy.
It's still time consuming. Nothing's going to happen overnight. You know that. You said you've lived there for 30 years or 40 years.
67 years.
So it's been a long time. I've been working on this for the better part of 6 months. So I think that's something the board can do, because that's something they can do. We can install stop signs. So that's number one. We can install some advisory signs. I think that's easier to do. I think that
I had understood that
I'll finish whenever you're done interrupting me.
Yeah, the linear things that go on the street were already in the garage, that they could be done. That's something that could have been put in place months ago. So, Mr. Dents, do you have that in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the
I'm just
recommendation
looking at
of the
what
board?
The NTAC, the traffic advisory, there was the raised lane markers and the additional pavement marking treatments is what they recommended.
Can you say that again?
The snowplow safe raised lane markers and additional pavement marking treatments. I'm not clear what that is. Just
Yeah,
shipped
I'm not
up
clear
to the
what either of
engineer.
those are.
It gets shipped up to the engineer and then back to us.
Okay, so where does it stand as far as you guys?
They're going to ship it back to the engineer, is that correct?
I think it's something that the board needs to, the most, in my opinion, the most difficult decision to make, because we haven't done it in the past, is to install the speed islands, right, the speed humps. If the supervisors want to do that, that's the one recommendation that's in their list of recommendations from the town engineer, from a traffic perspective, that is different than what we've done in the past. So that's a policy decision, because once we start down that path, then we're going to get a lot of requests for those all over Falls Township, and that's something we may want to entertain or we may not want to entertain. A lot of the other things, delineators, pavement markings, the stop sign's a big one, because as you know, you can't put stop signs up to control speed, but you can in certain instances where their criteria meets. In this instance, it does meet that criteria. So if we start down the path of the traffic speed humps, it's just something the board has to really has to think about. I think if I was a board member, I'd have to think about it for a while. I couldn't just decide, within 2 minutes whether I thought that was a good idea or not, because it has ramifications. So other than that, I think a lot of the things in the plan we can do, that's the one that I think, we certainly want some feedback on from the board. You have to think about it. We haven't done that in the past. Some towns do it more. Some just don't do it. From a policy perspective, they just won't do it for various reasons. Snowplow issues. The people that are going to complain about it because they're going to hear it, right? It's going to be noisy. They're going to go over it. For everybody that likes it, you're going to find as many people that maybe don't like it.
Yeah.
So you have to think about those things. Everything about that one particular recommendation isn't positive depending on what someone's perspective is. So I think they need to think about that.
That one's a big one, because the fire marshal is very much opposed to speed humps. The other problem
Is he opposed to dead children?
No, come on. The other problem that speed humps create is if someone's driving, a lot of the accidents that happened in front of your house were from drunk drivers. So
No, they were not. That's
I thought
not
it was
true.
3 of them. I thought
That's
were we
not,
told
they
3 of
were
them?
not from, not all of them were
Okay.
from drunk
Well,
drivers.
3 of them.
Go ahead,
I'm not-
continue.
I'm not-
I'm not here to argue with you, please continue.
We'll do. People hit the speed bumps at night. People are going to hit them at night. It's going to sound like a tractor trailer hitting it. People speed away from the speed bumps. And this isn't from my experience. This is from the Pennsylvania Traffic Calming Manual. So there are issues with the speed bumps. And like
Okay.
Mr. Shepherd said, as many people are all in favor, I want speed bumps in front of my house, there's just as many that say, don't put it in front of my house. That's all I'm saying. I mean.
Okay, so can you just state for me
Yeah.
where the board stands on this issue? I
We-
just need you to repeat.
We
it.
just got the thing last week.
You just got it last week?
The recommendation. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were getting it on May 1st.
And we haven't discussed
May
anything about it.
18th.
We haven't discussed it yet. We will discuss it at an executive session and then make a recommendation.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy stuff. It's painting stripes and stuff like
Again,
that, but I
Please don't
think,
say easy, because I have been waiting. My
I
grandchildren were
know,
almost
nothing happens
killed
fast.
in
I
August.
understand. I know.
I don't think you understand. I mean, I was looking at the motto for Falls Township: protection of life, property, and preservation of peace. That's all I'm asking for at my
Understood.
property.
If I
Erin?
may, yes. Thank you, Ms. Marino. Mr. Chair, if I could, Ms. Marino and several other members of her family have been here over the past several months, and I was just wondering if maybe we could just confidently say that we are going to discuss this in executive session, or however. Publicly.
Yeah, we're not going to be discussing this during executive session. The board members can review it, and they can individually have conversations with each other. But all the
Yes.
discussions about what to do and what not to do will have to occur in public.
We can have discussions individually, because there is some debate, like he said, the fire marshal. We can't just ignore the fire marshal, but we do care about children and their safety. So I do think that we can all make an effort to, before the next meeting, do our due diligence and be prepared to discuss it or even move on it in some fashion, maybe.
I would really appreciate that. I mean, this is just.
We can all.
That's easy.
I think
yes.
we
It'll
can
be on
do
our
that.
next agenda.
I think we can. I think. and
I feel
do-
like putting it on the next agenda,
It will be.
is that mean voted on? Is
Yes.
that mean implemented?
It'll be voted on at the next agenda.
You could vote on any aspect of it you want, all of
Yep.
it, some of it. If it's the stop sign ordinance, we can then authorize it for advertising, and at the following meeting of the board, it can be adopted if that's what the board wants to do, and then the signs can be erected right after that. It takes one meeting for the ordinance to be authorized for
Okay.
advertising and then enacted.
Yeah.
Right.
I really have never had much to do with, the Board of Supervisors or anything, but it is grueling as citizens to get something out of a township that we're paying for. So just to, talk to these families who have young kids, your kids can't concentrate, but they'll have a beautiful new high school. Thank you.
All right, Belle, you're up.
I would just like to respectfully ask and confirm data center conversation is over. Yes?
Yes.
I would like to be excused. I haven't asked.
You can have to be excused. You can leave anytime you want.
I'm trying to be polite and respectful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
I told you so. We need to be talking about nuclear energy. The data center is done. You need to talk to me. PSD411.info. I can give you a lot of information as a scientist, a black scientist. I don't know a whole lot, but I can find out for you. Those guys over there messed up my lawn! No, seriously, really. They did mess up my car. I did get it washed. None of the tree sap damaged the clear coat. But what I saw them do with that friggin' chipper and those kids walking by, I sent you the video, you need to find them. Michael Clark, you need to find those people, okay? They should not get away with that. They blocked the sidewalk, no traffic controls. I mean, like, what do you, I mean,
They
y'all are
came
the
to
township.
town, listen, they came to town, and, as soon as you sent the message, I was on the phone with Mr. Jones, who had inspectors down there, and he's had inspectors down there every day since.
Yeah.
And he told them, he's like, you need to stop now.
They didn't.
Well, when they did call him, he shut them down. When the guy called him, and he said, well, I'm not used to this. I'm used to doing whatever, and I've been doing this 40 years. And Joe says, well, you're not doing that here. You can't chip it on site. You can cut the trees down. You can chip the trees up. You're just not going to chip them up here. And
Everything you said sounds great.
right. Well, the fence is going up is what I.
Oh, yeah, it's going up, but it's too late. I mean,
Right.
they basically said F you to this town.
Oh, I know.
And the people here.
Right. That's
And-
day one. That's the first thing they did.
And
on that.
why they
It's
did
like,
it in front of my friggin' house.
They don't like you.
That's why I was gonna go to NACP, but I realized it's a cotton picking. Cotton picking. NAACP, it stands for cotton picking. And I left the plantation many years ago. I'm not going back. As a result, I cannot go to the school board. You got a member there on the NAACP
I
board.
don't have a member anywhere.
Oh, yeah, you got it on the zoning board.
I don't have a member on the school board.
Zoning board, excuse me.
Anyway,
Zoning board. Right, Mr. Clark? You know about that. If you don't, we can talk.
okay. So you're.
I'm very kind.
So we should be on top of that now. Mr. Jones has an inspector out there every day.
Okay, is there any thought about having cameras or anything for the township?
No.
No? So you can make sure that everything is kosher there? No?
We'll have inspectors there. I'm sure there's gonna be inspectors there all the time. And Mr. Jones's inspectors will be there all the time, but no cameras.
And the last thing I want to mention, ICE. Is there any thought about immigration officers being there to make sure that illegal aliens are not there working on the site?
I believe they have to have a registered payroll.
Yeah.
For sure.
responsible contractor.
And that registered payroll basically means that they're above board or on board?
Yeah, somebody, they have to respond to somebody with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
you're welcome. All right,
Smile, Mr. Clark.
That's all the names for public comment. That takes us to item,
Mr. Chair.
Can I talk about the rest of the stuff I was in?
you already spoke.
I only talked about the data center.
All right, real fast. We're way beyond our 45 minutes. Was your name on the list? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for the data center? No. Oh, okay, you can speak now. I apologize, I skipped over you. I thought you spoke already.
So I'm Amy, you guys probably remember me, lifelong resident of Beaumont Road technically. I had two things. One,
A little closer to the mic, please.
I'm sorry.
You gotta get closer to the mic.
Sorry.
That's the man in the sky.
Oh, God. I had applied to be on the Traffic Advisory Board twice now over the past couple months, and I haven't heard back, and I wasn't sure how that
I believe we're gonna
works.
appoint you tonight. I think you're, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Amy Fox.
Thank you. I was excited because I'm very passionate
Number two?
about our community.
Yeah.
But I do apologize. I have pictures, and I would really like you guys to see them. So, like I said, I'm the third generation on Beaumont Road, and we like to, that's my neighbor back there, Sarah, and we like to take good care of everybody. But I noticed our street is in disarray, and I know that when I was here a couple months ago, we talked about you guys reopening the pavement, or the repaving of the streets.
Yeah.
Right now, there are patches on top of patches.
Yep.
Patches are coming off. The road is literally breaking apart. We have major drainage issues. There's tons of gravel everywhere from just the
Just
road
the
and when
road,
they're
yeah.
trying to patch it. Dangerous trip and fall hazards. So right in front of my house, I think that Sarah and I have the least amount of problems, but like when I park in the street, there's a hole that you got patched up a couple of years ago. It's completely, I've tripped in it already. But it's very dangerous for our kids, and we noticed that somebody was out, a company was out, and they were doing pink and blue marks, and we weren't sure, nobody really knew what was going on with that. So I wanted to see if you guys knew about that.
Yes.
And then I just want to let you know that we got approved to have our annual, or was it third? Fourth? Third annual block party on Beaumont in June. So we were trying to see what kind of timeline, no, but like, if maybe we could patch up some of the bad stuff, because right now, like the kids at the last block party last year were literally pulling up the road, and I don't want to see that happen again, because they can
Mr.
get
Jones,
seriously
you
hurt.
comment on that Beaumont Road?
Yeah, we were asked to look at a specific area. What address are you at?
I'm 726, but it's the entire road. Like I said, I'd be more than happy to show you all the pictures. I walked up and down the road this morning.
So we were asked by the manager and the board to take a look at the road for a drainage issue, and we
Yeah.
noticed a lot of deterioration. So we surveyed the area, and we're working on a drainage solution now, and
Okay.
it'll be dependent upon budgeting how much we can do to repair it. It'll be a job that would have to be publicly bid. I would suggest in the interim, maybe Public Works can help out before the block party.
Okay.
But what we're doing is a next year project if it's budgeted.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's just a couple big
And
holes.
the spots, the stripes that you're seeing, that's when we call out for utility markouts, so that
Okay.
when we survey it, we know where we can put the drainage improvements and avoid conflicts with gas, water, and so.
Okay, yeah, I know all the grass are completely gone now at this point, but yeah, we still have the pink.
Is it just your block, the block party?
Yes, it's just the 700 block of Beaumont. But that's, if you go down the 600 block, it's not that bad. But like I said, it's primarily between
Yeah.
like 708 and probably what, like 7. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
worst of it, and that's primarily where all the children are.
Okay.
So our end of the street is all older kids or older people. So.
All right.
Mr. Shepherd, is that something we can have Public Works take a look at?
Yeah, I have it on my list.
We'll look at
too.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I apologize for skipping your name. I thought you had spoken already or on that list. You're up, real quick.
Really quick, I'm just going to give you topics. I was wondering if with the fees in lieu of trees, if anyone is actually taking count of the amount of trees that we're losing in the process of doing that, because we do need the trees for water consumption.
Yeah.
We do have wet areas. And then also concerned because like we lost 672 trees on the Brzezinski project.
Not yet,
We're gonna,
but-
not yet, we're losing them though. And we already lost them on Pensbury, which I don't think anyone expected. I think we thought it was gonna be a couple of years out, so we were a little shocked on 131 acres when it was like literally across from our house. So, thank you for responding so quickly, Dr.
Yes,
Dents.
but
I
we
appreciate
do
it.
have a
I know.
formula that he uses for the trees.
Yeah.
That we just learned a lot about tonight, actually.
Well, but I'm concerned, I'm interested in hearing that, because I had applied for the Shade Tree Commission before it was kind of pulled down
Well, that's
a
not
little
really the
bit.
Shade Tree Commission,
I get it.
that part of it.
Yeah.
It's a,
Well, this was
land
the ordinance that I
development
read, and the ordinance
Yeah.
doesn't actually have a ton of information on it, so you guys might have gotten a lot more about that tonight when you covered it. So I want to talk to you about the trees. And then I was wondering with the steps out here, the center steps that are in the building, if
Yeah.
anyone actually considered like ADA compliance, because there's no rise on those steps. It makes it very hard for them to be used.
which ones are we talking about?
These main
There's
circular
a
steps that are
elevator.
the spiral. Yeah, the elevator's in the back. There's no
Well, that's how it's ADA
signage, and
compliant.
it's slow. And the stairwell is actually considered the primary source, so I was wondering if there's a second stairwell for those of us that have trouble with the backings missing on risers.
There's no second stairwell that's publicly accessible.
But
Okay.
there's an elevator.
But
Is
the
there
ele-
for your employees? Because a lot of your employees are struggling too, but they don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, the employees
So at
can
least
go.
tell them.
The employees can all access the stairwells because you could get into them sometimes. You can't get out of them, or
Okay.
vice versa. Every employee can access those.
Okay, so if you at least communicate that to your employees so that they feel a little more comfortable and not having to use the spiral
I
staircase.
can't imagine there's an employee that works here
There are multiple employees, so
that
if you
don't
could tell
know
them-
they can't get into a stairwell.
Just maybe so that the person doesn't have to point it out for the couple of people that are struggling.
Okay.
Could you just make it known to your employees? We'd really appreciate it because a few of us in the community struggle and a couple of your employees I've noticed struggle too. We appreciate all the work you did on the building, but obviously it's a big concern. Okay, the other thing that I was concerned about is the traffic on Hood Boulevard because of the construction workers, and I guess this would go to you, Mr. Jones. There have been trucks already, contractor trucks and Falls Township trucks that are blocking those sidewalks. So when the kids are walking past and they were getting blinded by the wood chips and stuff, there were also trucks crossing those sidewalks. So we're a little bit concerned. So it's been brought up. You guys addressed it. It was great. But just so that you're aware, it is happening 2 days
We'll have
later.
2 inspectors on site every day. That will not happen again.
Okay, and then about the fencing, we thought the fencing was gonna go up before the June 4th groundbreaking. We thought it would go up before trees were taken down. We see that it's starting to go up now. We see the poles and the placement. Are we sure that that's not gonna block, for like sight distance and viewability around the corner across from the little church at Bristol Township and Falls?
Yep, we'll confirm when it's physically constructed, but the way it was shown on the plan did not, but we'll absolutely as-built it and confirm that.
Okay, now those plans, we don't have them as a public, so we're still not sure where the actual boundaries of the building are, where things are gonna be done, where the fencing is gonna end up. Is that something that we can RTK, or is that because it's in the engineering, we cannot? So just so we could actually have an idea of where that fencing and everything is gonna go. Because we don't wanna keep complaining about stuff if it's already covered.
I think that's all public, Joe. I mean, we have access to that. Those records are here. If you have them, we have copies of the plans.
Is that okay? So
Yeah.
we'll ask for that, and not to be difficult, just so that we don't ask you about stuff you already figured out. And then the other one thing I just wanted to mention, and again, we won't talk about it all tonight, but the mini libraries that are at the Little Falls Township parks that are kind of scattered in the neighborhoods are being vandalized. Kids from apartment buildings are crossing over into the neighborhoods, like Vermilion Hills, for example, was the most recent one. There were a couple of residents that are kind of sitting down there at the end of Viewpoint right in front that saw these kids throwing books and things into the wooded areas. They came out, they were very kind to talk to the kids and kind of explain to them hey, I don't know if you don't have a dad or dad doesn't know, but you can't do that. So the kids cleaned up the books, they fixed it. But when the police officers were called out, they kind of drove past and were like, oh, we thought everything was fine. We just saw families talking. They weren't families, they were men in the neighborhood that literally were explaining to these boys, you don't do that. You put the books back, you kind of do the right thing. So we just weren't sure if maybe there was a better protocol than having to call a police officer out at 7 o'clock at night. Is there an easier or better way to deal with it just in the future so that you don't have kids throwing
Kids are
stuff
rotten.
around Falls Township, right? I'm an
That's
empty
probably the
nester, I can
best-
say that.
That's
I
probably the best way to
apologize.
deal with it, though. I mean, there's really nothing else
Yeah.
you can do at that point. If you want to address it right
Yeah.
then, there's nothing else. There's no one else to call here that can actually respond to that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so this could have been literally just a one-off, where like the police officer didn't know
Hopefully.
to stop. But that was it. A bunch of things, we'll talk about them later, but
Thank you.
thank you all.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute recess.
Sorry for yelling. I'm from Jersey. It's just
Don't be
it's
sorry.
just my personality.
And listen, come here. And Belja said the same thing. He's like, this is the way I talk. You can ask anybody here. My wife of 30 years tells people I'm hostile. Where?
I'm from Jersey.
Oh, I'm from Philly, you can tell. Yeah. So I apologize for coming up that way. That's just the way I talk.
Well, that's one of my arguments was like, we got
I know.
Phillies. I don't know.
All right. Thank you very much.
More.
Okay. That takes us to item number 3, consideration of approval of certificate of appropriateness for 45 Main Street, tax map parcel 13020276, repair and replace the main roof on the house, excluding the red metal porch roof. Any questions or comments from board members?
No.
No.
Professionals? No. Any public comment needed? No. This was unanimously approved by the hard board, and is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Can I ask a question? Is this application checklist new? Do we know?
It is. It is something new that Matt Takita from our code enforcement office was able to put together for the board so they could actually, I think, do a better job with what they did, which was review all the aspects of the application.
Tell them it's also been very helpful for us. Thank you.
Wonderful. Did a good job on it.
Item 4, consideration of manager's recommendation regarding Speedway towing. Mr. Clark, I believe this is
Ms. Gallagher.
Mr. Dents, I'll handle this one. So on February 18th, we held a hearing in front of the township manager pursuant to section 206-12 of the Falls Township Code of Ordinances. There were allegations that Speedway towing had violated portions of the township's records ordinance. We have concluded our investigation, and at this time, the manager's recommendation is to affirm the administrative suspension that was implemented when we sent the hearing notice out and reinstate Speedway towing to the duty tow roster as soon as practicable.
All right, any questions or comments from board members? Mr. Latecki?
None.
No.
Mr. Palmer?
No.
Any public comment needed? Go ahead, sir.
When does it take effect?
As soon as practicable.
So like, we're on it right now. Would it start midnight tomorrow, a week?
Sir, can you tell us who you are?
Josh, for Speedway Towing.
Okay, thanks.
As soon as the police can make it happen properly, they will do that.
All right, thank you.
No other public comment? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, consideration of award of contract for the road program improvement project and authorization of manager to execute final contract documents. Any questions or comments from board members?
None.
No, this is pretty straightforward. We went at the bid and we're going to approve it. Any public comment needed? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That takes us to item 6. Consideration of motion to adopt ordinance amending Shade Tree Commission. In the past, we had an Environmental Advisory Council and a separate Shade Tree Commission. Currently, there's no members of the Shade Tree Commission. It's been lacking, so it's something that the easiest thing to do is make it part of the EAC. So that members, some members of the EAC will serve on the Shade Tree Commission, correct?
Correct.
And they will meet the same night, same time.
They will set their meeting schedule, but presumably, yes.
Yeah. Any questions from board members?
No.
No, I just want to make a comment, though, that the EAC is eager to take this on and pretty excited about it.
Pretty boring stuff, but okay. Any public comment
Did you
needed?
say that the last time?
No hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Yes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 7, consideration of ratification of 2026-2027 health benefit program rate renewal. Mr. Shepherd?
Yeah, this is just a ratification. We've already signed up for the benefit renewal. Increase for the year is 8.5%, and that's about average. I provided the board a memo on that for kind of a nationwide increases in healthcare costs. So kind of right where we are average-wise. We certainly wish it was lower, but as you know, many organizations, towns, companies are facing even more significant increases than that. So recommendation is to ratify that for this upcoming year.
All right, thank you. Any questions from board members? Mr. Latecki?
No.
Ms. Mullen?
My question is, are there any plan changes?
No plan changes. For us to do a plan change primarily, especially with the unions, would take into consideration significant negotiating. So if we get to that point, we want to make some changes, we would be talking to the unions before.
So no change in copay, nothing like that?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
John, as far as the budget, was this in line with our budget?
We anticipate that we factor in an increase every year. We know there's going to be something. We don't know exactly what it's going to be because we don't know when we adopt the budget, but we're certainly fine from a budget perspective.
Thank you.
All right, any public comment needed? See no hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 8, consideration of approval of lease agreements for a postage
The postage
agreement for a
machine.
postage machine.
Yeah, this is a small contract, but it's still a lease. It's a long-term lease, so the board needs to approve it. The recommendation is to stay with our existing company who provides good service. And their rate or their quote for the 63-month lease is also the lease of the various companies that we solicited that provided quotes. That would be at $200 per month for 63 months.
Any questions from board members? Mr. Latecki?
No.
No.
Mr. Palmer?
No comments.
63 months seems like a long time. That's smart, you think?
It is. Yeah, they're not going to increase the price over that term. That's a
All
good
right.
deal. Everything goes up in price, so we'll take that.
Any public comment needed?
STR business machines.
See no hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That takes us to item 9, consideration of approval of escrow releases.
Yeah, just one request tonight.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, and that's Lower Bucks Home Builders. That's been certified by Joe Jones, our town engineer. It's a reduction, it's not a complete release, and you can
Okay.
see his motion, or his memo with the recommendation.
Is that the only one here?
That's it.
Any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Lopecki?
No.
Try the trickies. Mr. Palmer? No. Is there any public comment needed? There's no hands. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's appoint some residents to boards and commissions. Should we appoint Amy Fox to the Traffic Advisory Committee tonight, or do you want to skip it? No, I'm kidding.
Amy Fox, I know that
Who's she?
name from somewhere.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Welcome, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'd like to appoint to the Planning Commission alternate Lainey Strelick.
I'll second that appointment.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any others? I'm just scrolling through here. Oh, we have a letter of interest from the Parks and Rec.
Wasn't there somebody for the shade tree?
We have a letter from Theodore Cletus. I'll make a motion to appoint him to the Parks and Rec Board.
I will second that, Mr. Chair.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? All right. Congratulations, sir. That's all I have. That takes us to the minutes for April 27th. We had a full house. Any corrections needed? Excellent minutes as always, Mrs. Poulin. 17 years I've been saying that.
You do it so well.
You do so good. Yeah.
Just been doing it a long time, long before I was here. Everything's good? Is there a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Engineers report, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last month, we had one new land development submitted. It's a waiver of land development, and it's at 8 MY Lane, and it's for materials processing lease area on the existing site. Plans are under review. It's likely not going to be before the board next month because the plans aren't adequate for us to do a thorough review, so we're going to issue a review letter on that one. Other highlights are identified in red as usual. Air Liquide is substantially complete and under a temporary certificate of occupancy. The Falls Tullytown Road garages, they're working on erosion controls and preliminary drainage structures. North Point Area 3, various utils and infrastructure. North Point Area 2 amended. We have some site work, minor site work, and utility work. We talked about the Pennsbury High School mobilization earlier. In terms of the earth disturbances, the waste management properties, they're working on the bulkheads to repair the docks at the Deepwater Port. Star Tours is completed substantially under a temporary certificate of occupancy from our office. And then the 3 pools have commenced construction. That's all the updates I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Jones?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I have one. The Fallsington Tullytown Road garage, I had a resident say something to me about a fire hydrant. It wasn't in the area. It was pretty far away. I know that's probably the fire marshal.
I'm sorry. You're asking what the location of the nearest hydrant is?
Yeah.
I don't have that available, but I know that what they're building is kind of inert, it's concrete block structure. And so I'm not sure exactly where the nearest hydrant is.
Are they sprinklered?
But no.
No.
No, I don't think it would be required for sure. I mean, that would be a building code decision, but I don't believe they're sprinklered. But I can find out what the distance is, and the plans were reviewed by the fire marshal.
Okay, I just had a resident question it because they
Yeah.
didn't see a fire hydrant anywhere in the area.
Right.
All right. Is there no more questions for Mr. Jones? That takes us to the bill list, item 13. We have a bill list in the amount of $3,319,565. Any questions or comments on the bill list?
No.
No? Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd?
Supervisor Latecki,
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer.
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen.
Yes.
And Supervisor Dents.
Yes. That takes us to the Jones Engineering Associates bill list. We have a bill in the amount of $334,731.50. Any questions or comments on that bill from board members?
No.
None?
No.
No comment.
I assume there's no public comment. Is there a motion to pay that bill?
Second. Or
So
so moved.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Shepherd, can you poll the board?
Supervisor Latecki.
Yes.
Supervisor Palmer.
Yes.
Supervisor Mullen.
Yes.
And Supervisor Dents.
Abstain. That takes us to manager comment.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
It's the board comment. Mr. Palmer,
No comment.
Ms. Mullen,
I also have no comment, thank you.
Latecki.
No comment.
All right.
Oh, I heard
do-
we have Boy Scouts, though.
We do.
So, welcome to the Boy Scouts. Thank you for coming.
Pack 46 at Eleanor Roosevelt. Are they working on badges tonight? Yep. All right. I do want to comment about, we had a lot of folks come out tonight about this data center. You know, this board, I know I talk very abrupt and I come off as being hostile, but that's not the case. We will put together some sort of town hall meeting of some sort. I can't say it's going to be next week or, you know, I don't know how easy this is going to be to do. We'll get someone from Amazon here, let them speak for themselves. But we will be working on that. I know all of a sudden there's been a lot of interest in the data center that's been going on for quite some time now. So it kind of, I'm not going to say it blindsided us because it's all over the country that people are talking about it. So I just wanted to say that to everyone that was here tonight. Or I'm sure there's a lot watching that couldn't make it here tonight. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.